I simply went to the loo whilst on a flight, never imagining it would save my life. Just as I'd finished and was about to return to my seat, the aircraft suddenly began experiencing severe turbulence. I was thrown about uncontrollably in the lavatory, which frightened me so much that I started shouting for help at the top of my lungs, yet nobody responded. When I came to again, there wasn't a sound to be heard anywhere. In a panic, I kicked open the toilet door, and the sight before me left me utterly gobsmacked. The plane had crashed into a snow-covered mountain. It was then I realized I'd been caught up in an air disaster. Looking at the wreckage scattered about, my first instinct was to search for any other survivors. However, I discovered that everyone else in the cabin had perished. Just as I was sinking into despair, I suddenly heard a man's voice coming from the distant debris. I hurried over to investigate and found a survivor trapped beneath the wreckage. I frantically lifted away the metal sheets to free him. Before we could even catch our breath, a blizzard began to descend upon us. To avoid freezing to death in the bitter cold, we scavenged some materials from the cabin that might protect us from the harsh conditions, then quickly took shelter in what remained of the aircraft's toilet, the only place that could shield us from the raging storm. We huddled together under blankets, keeping each other warm, and somehow managed to survive that interminable night. Yet we were now faced with another dire predicament. How on earth were we to survive in this place? Being stranded high up in the mountains with the aircraft's wreckage now buried beneath the snow, even if a rescue team were to arrive, they'd never spot us. It was then that the man made a bold decision. Rather than waiting here to die, we ought to venture out and search for a glimmer of hope. His determination to survive moved me deeply, and so we embarked upon a journey of survival. However, despite crossing numerous snow-covered peaks, we still hadn't found the slightest trace of human habitation. Just as we were making our way along a new route, the man seemed to catch sight of something rather terrifying.